G'day! Welcome to Farming Simulator 15 here on Thornton Farm. Last episode we found out that this tractor, our biggest and most powerful tractor, can't even pull this, the smallest seeder that I could buy. Now I think this is to do with the realistic terrain, or I think that's the name of the mod. Let me just oh. Cool. Yeah, let me just pause for a second and I'll try and find the name of that mod. Okay, the name of that mod is Terrain and Dirt Control. So it's the one that adds the mud, and I think it's the one that's also adding these bumps and stuff to the field. So let's jump in the tractor. Oh god. Let's get off this field. I can't even control this thing. There we go. Alright, on the grass is a little bit easier to drive. So, well, if a four-wheel drive can't do it, we might be in some serious trouble here. But I do have another four-wheel drive tractor which I'm going to try. Oh. I wonder if that's because of the diff lock. Well, we should turn the diff locks off anyways. And probably four-wheel drive. There we go. So, this stinking hunk of junk, just leave the seeder here. This guy can retire in shame to this little shed here. Alright, you better be good at pulling trailers or something, because anyways. Alright, so this guy here is a four-wheel drive as well. You can see the big well, the little diff there, and the drive shaft which is off at an angle. It's quite interesting. So let's see if this guy can do it. Hook the seeder up. I don't know how much hope I hold for this. Lift it. Yeah, I'm not sure how much hope I hold for this, because the bigger tractor really couldn't do it. Anyways, let's have a look here. So we're going to definitely want four-wheel drive, and we'll lock the rear. Oh my god, look at that. It's doing it. So there you go. That big tractor was really a bit of a waste of money. Well, we'll put it to use, but it was not very effective for field work with the seeder, at least. I suspect it's just something to do with the geometry of the wheels, or maybe the suspension or something like that. It's just not getting good grip, whereas this one is able to get enough grip. So I'm going to do a headland around the outside first. And yeah, this field's going to take a little while to do, so I'm going to say that we'll keep working in this field till the end of this episode, and then I'll just either do it off camera or get a worker to do it off camera, so that you guys don't have to watch me seed this whole field. So cool. Must be an Air Force base nearby or something. That looked like that one just appeared there too. Oh well. Yeah, so field work is a lot more involved with soil mod. You have to manage water, you have to manage 2 different kinds of nutrients, and you have to manage weeds as well. And you know, it's pretty detailed. Even leaving straw in the field will affect the nutrient levels, and I think that's realistic. I think, because you know, you could imagine that decaying straw or chaff left in a field would certainly put some nutrient back into the soil. So yeah, it's definitely interesting if you are not used to it. Here we go, this thing's cruising along, look at this. No worries. So yeah, once upon a time, I used to play Farming Simulator 13, so I've got more hours than I really want to think about clocked up in between Farming Simulator 13 and Farming Simulator 15. And for a long time I was really pedantic about making sure that not a single tile of field was left unworked, and so I'd go back and drive to the other side of the field if I missed a part and all this kind of thing. But I've learned to give up on that a little bit. I try not to miss anything, but sometimes it's just not worth going back for it. Especially with fertilizing, even though it doubles your yield, you tend to miss little spots when you're fertilizing or, you know, spreading or spraying. So you don't have to be too serious about it. I'm sure that will annoy some people, but yeah, you just get work done a lot quicker and whatnot if you don't worry about that sort of stuff. So hopefully we're not going to be missing too much here. It's pretty hard to see with this seeder on the back, but we missed a little bit back there. We'll have to go a little bit closer. I usually will watch where one of my front wheels is going, and that will give me an idea of you know, a line to follow. You sort of need a line or something that you can follow, because doing it by eyes, you know, by feel is just not really possible. Okay. Jeez, this seeder cannot hold a lot of seed. We're already nearly 2/3 empty. Goes good downhill. Yeehaw. So yeah, I'm just roughly running my front left wheel on that transition between seeded and non-seeded field there. Manually working a field like this, your rows never turn out to be that straight, but I'm sure I'll get over it. Another cool mod which I don't have installed at the moment, I don't think, is the GPS mod. It adds a much more realistic way to assist with your driving in the field. So it adds an overlay that comes up kind of like the Courseplay overlay, and allows you to basically set I don't know what you call them, passes or channels or lanes are probably the good term for it. And you can select the width and the offset if you don't want to drive exactly down the center of the lane, if you've got an offset tool or something like that. And you can set all these different parameters, and you can either use it as a visual aid because it paints lines along the field, or you can put it on like auto steer, and it will just follow those lanes. And you know, I'd imagine, I think that's probably something similar to what actual tractors do. But I might put that in this Let's Play eventually, but at this stage, you know, these tractors certainly wouldn't have that capability, so I feel like driving manually is a good thing to do at this stage. God, look at those front wheels bouncing up and down. So one thing I'm not 100% sure on with tractors is I don't exactly think that they have proper suspension, right? So I think the back axles are typically solid on them and with no flexibility, so that'd be a pretty rough ride. Your suspension would come all from your pneumatic tires, and then the front axles seem to be solid axles but with a pivot on the center so that they can rock side to side, just to maintain a little bit of traction, I guess, over uneven terrain. But what I've noticed with Farming Simulator is that most tractors actually model the front, actually model suspension, so the wheels actually do move up and down, and you can see the suspension components clipping through the axle there. So the steering hub type things are moving, but the axle itself is stationary. So kind of unrealistic there, but just have to put that out of your mind. I have seen in one of Daggerwind's playthroughs I think it was a John Deere tractor which had properly modelled front suspension, which means that it wasn't modelled as independent suspension. So the wheels actually, you know, if you think of the axis of the wheel, the rotational axis of the wheel, they always faced each other rather than the wheel remaining vertical and moving up and down. Oh, we still have some left. Just empty this last little bit. There we go. So I thought that was quite impressive. It looked really good, actually, seeing it work. Not sure what the mod is. Have a look at one of Daggerwind's latest videos, or later videos. Cool tractor. Okie doke, so we'll get off the field now, and we will take off our diff lock, because you don't want to drive around with diff lock if you can help it. Wears your tyres out, stresses your axles. And four-wheel drive off as well, because I don't know, I don't think tractors would have selectable four-wheel drive. I think they would just be all-time four-wheel drive with a lockable center diff like some Land Cruisers are. But yeah, we'll just transfer to, maybe that's what this drive control mod is simulating, but yeah, generally speaking, you don't want to have your center differential locked while you're driving either. You know, it's alright on soft terrain like sand or mud, but yeah, you wouldn't want to do that on the road. You can really damage your transmission, particularly doing that. Okie dokie. Let's fill her up. Who knows? Don't know what that wheel was doing. We've discovered a perpetual motion machine. Somehow it finds the energy to turn by itself. Okie dokie. So I have a camera reset button too, if you're wondering how I've done that. I'm not sure if that's vanilla or drive control that's allowing me to set that control, but something useful. I do it when I'm playing Euro Truck Simulator as well. It just gives you an easy way to set your view forwards if you get a little bit muddled up. This is a very slow tractor, this one. 21 kilometers flat out, or 21 and a bit. So yeah, you can see the glance mod up in the top left at the moment. So it's showing you my name and the speed of the vehicle, the field that it's on and how full it is and what it's full of. So it's a pretty cool mod. Works like the other ones, but I just like that it's compact. Okay, away we go. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the C stands for in... Oh. Lock the diff, put her in four-wheel drive. Let's try that again. Yeah, not exactly sure what the C stands for. Maybe... yeah, I don't actually know. Okay. So yeah, with Oxygen David's maps, one of the reasons why I really love them is just the work that's been done to improve the textures. So, I mean, I think textures for the ground and the worked soil and stuff is a bit of a personal preference. I like these ones more than the base game, but one thing which I think that is really good is the textures actually run in more than the cardinal and in between, like halfway between cardinal directions. So instead of just having 8 possible directions that the textures can run, they can run in many more. It's not unlimited, but you know, it's detailed enough that it looks almost unlimited. So if I, you know, drove around the corner gradually like this, previously, you know, in the base game, that curvature would be straight, and then a 45 degree, and then 45 degrees again. And it looks a bit horrendous. But if you notice that, it's probably a little bit hard to see on YouTube, but it's a much more gradual curve, and you know, they add soil, little stones and dirt clods and stuff. Just looks, I think, a whole lot better. And also the lushness of the grass and the foliage, it's a lot denser. Maps are a lot tighter and more closely packed with all the plants, and it feels a lot more realistic, I think. So yeah, I really love playing on these maps. Apparently you need a pretty decent machine to play it. I would say that I have a pretty decent machine, so I don't struggle to maintain a good frame rate with any of these maps. But yeah, if you're playing on an old laptop or something like that, I dare say you'd struggle. But there's definitely some assets which have been used over multiple maps, like the grass and field textures seem to be the same ones that I've seen on Chellington and Sandy Bay. As well as, you know, some of the buildings and whatnot, and seem to be carried over, which is not a problem at all. They're pretty good models. So yeah, I've recorded, this is the 3rd episode I've recorded in a row. I'm going to just record a few in a block to get the first little you know, buffer of episodes up, because it does take me a long time to upload them. And then after that, I'm going to well, yeah, just play it by ear. I'll upload them as I see fit after that, but I won't be able to, if there is any feedback, I doubt anyone will ever watch these, but if there is any feedback, I won't get it until, you know, a little while after the videos have been uploaded. So yeah, please do let me know what you think of these videos. Let me know if you think I need to change my volume levels or display settings, or I I'm going to try and upload these in 1080/60, which is the best I can do. If there's any tweaks that you guys have, suggestions, so I'm using OBS to record my voice and the game sounds. Then so far I've been editing videos in Blender. Not that it's the best tool, but it's just one that I can use and I can afford. Because some of those video editing software packages can be quite pricey. So yeah, please do let me know what you think and how I'm going and what I can do better. Let me know what you want to see. If you're interested in the Farming Classics tractors, if you're interested in me doing this field work, if you would want me to just skip this, if you've got ideas about how you want this farm to branch out, as in, do we want to do livestock, do we want to do more grain crops, root crops, let me know. I noticed that generally there's a pretty slim pickings when it comes to YouTube Let's Plays for farming sim, and I noticed that generally the quality is pretty bad, and I would say that the quality of mine is pretty much up there with the worst of them. So open to suggestions, how I can improve it. If you hate it, let me know, because yeah, at the end of the day, I thought I started this because I saw a bit of a gap in what is out there at the moment. I didn't see any Let's Players that made really high quality videos. That also, sort of played the way I like to play, so I thought, oh well, why not? I play it a lot anyway, so may as well record while I'm doing it, eh? Alright guys, thanks for watching this one. Hit me up in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.